He doesn't remember who he is.
I don't remember who I am. Hey, I'm Ryan, and I'm here with Brenna. And
Hello, everyone.
We're going to talk today about the design of Song of Silveranth and what we've been up to and some of our thoughts behind the game design and why we've been making certain decisions in the game. But the first thing I want to say is that we've actually made some pretty big adjustments to combat. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk more about that. But first, let me kind of go over what it used to be, which is push your luck combat. So in the game, you would roll dice, and your weapon, different weapons had different thresholds for how far you could push your luck. And it was a fun system because you would go up to an enemy, you'd roll the dice, and you'd be like, oh, if I roll another one, I might do one more damage. Or if I keep going far enough, I'll hit the crit and I'll do a ton more damage, which is really fun. But we had to make some changes after doing a lot of testing. However, we did keep the mechanic in the game in
discourse.
Yeah, and it's really fun to have. I'm excited because now there are like multiple, mini games that you're playing in the game. It's fun that discourse is different than combat.
Yes, it adds a lot more variety, and it makes both feel more unique from each other.
Yeah. You'll see. We'll go into a lot of detail in a minute about how this works. I guess I should just roughly say what you're doing. So everyone rolls dice, and then they use the dice to take actions on an action board, also on your weapon cards. So you place the dice and do things, and it really opens up the game, makes it really flexible. One of my favorite parts of this change is that it really gives players a lot of customization options for their character. All the character loadouts look a lot more different now. You're like, oh, which armor should I have? And, which weapon should I have? I need to have a knife, but also maybe a big weapon so that I can use like if I roll a 1, I need to be able to use that, So you have you'll try to design it so that you have uses for all your dice, like the whole range of the dice. But what do you like about it, Brenna?
I really like the new emphasis on tactical movement in the new system, which did exist a little bit in the older system as well, and was something that I thought was fun. But I kind of thought when we first changed things that I would miss more of the older system. But what made me get really excited about the new system was those possibilities that weren't in the old system, was like the greater emphasis on like the variety of different things you can do to still move the combat forward, and sort of planning out your actions from your pool of dice in a certain order and with other people, so that you're kind of maximizing your ability to move around and get the enemies to move around and either stay out of range or get in range, and all that kind of stuff that can give you some more flexibility in your strategy in the moment to try to find the perfect way to get through. So the new system kind of evokes for me some of the fun I had in games like Into the Breach, that are like these video games that are very that sort of tactical combat where you're moving around on a grid and trying to position your people. And this new system has a lot more of that positioning. Not quite fully to the Into the Breach level, but more in that direction. And sort of every time Ryan has made extra little adjustments to this new system, I've had those same thoughts where it's like, ooh, now I'm excited thinking about all the possibilities of the things I can do and maneuver around to try to maximize these encounters. And that was exciting to me.
Yeah. I mean, we're trying to motivate players to, engage in teamwork, work together, work out strategies, and I'm noticing that more in this version. And I really like before it was hard to move around. There wasn't a ton of flexibility, and now you can be like, wow, I'm just going to move all over the place, and I'm going to act more like a thief. It feels like you can really lean more into the the type of character you want to play.
Yes,
So there's like more
absolutely.
role playing, honestly.
Absolutely.
Even in this tactical combat thing.
And it feels much less common to get stuck in a corner where you can't really do much. Whereas in the older system, occasionally, like because you didn't have quite as much flexibility for what you were doing with your turn, sometimes you just wouldn't have anything you could do that was useful with your turn where you were.
Yeah.
Whereas in this new system, there's going to be something.
Yeah.
Like it might not be exactly what you were hoping you would be able to do earlier in the encounter. Like you might be a little bit in a corner, but there's going to be something you can do that can benefit you going forward. And so you never feel like you're kind of just sitting there wasting your turn.
Yeah, definitely. And especially with, you want this to work really well with all player counts.
Exactly, yeah.
And the way it works with design, I mean, especially designing these big games, they're just, things have to change as you go along and you experience new things. And you get to a point, because we're designing so much content, and what happens is you'll design a lot of stuff. Maybe when we start the design, things are working. But then you get to a point in the design where you want to create more variety. You want to make more dungeons. You don't want things to be repetitive,
And that absolutely is one of the strengths of this new system, is it has so much more space within the design to like come up with fun ideas for unique encounters or like unique abilities. So there's kind of more room for the content that we need to create to fill out the world, and for that content to feel more impactful, because it does have that unique element to it that can be used effectively in the gameplay and isn't just story flavor,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because, and this will give us a lot more, like you say, more opportunity to create unique content, because in such a big thing, you don't want people to just get the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
When you get a new weapon, it should be like, wow, that's an interesting thing. And your mind is coming up with new ways to use that new weapon, rather than, oh, I already have something that's basically the same. I'm not going to use this. We'll just sell it.
Yeah.
And this system gives us a lot more space as designers to do that. And it also keeps the pressure luck spirit.
It does, yes. It keeps the press your luck spirit because it has a new thing added into the weapons where for some of them you either have to or you can choose to roll this kind of like extra damage die that adds some extra damage to your weapon or might hurt you. So that still has that.
So it still has that push your luck part. Yeah. I mean, we've made some other changes too to combat, just to kind of make it more fun. That's what it comes down to. Like, we want it to be strategic, which I think it is more strategic now, and more, there's more choices to make. But it should be an exciting thing to do.
Absolutely. And this sounds like a silly minor thing, but one of the things that early on I was worried I would miss from the early push your luck system was just the simple fun of rolling a whole bunch of dice at once. And like some of the sort of intermediary ideas that we tried before we landed on this final system had fewer dice. And that always just kind of felt a little bit less fun to me.
Yeah.
And so I love that this final newer system that we came up with, you're still rolling a bunch of dice.
Yeah.
There's more that you can do with them. You're not just like counting failures or successes from them. There's like a variety of things you can do, but you still get to just enjoy grabbing a bunch of dice and throwing them on the table.
Oh yeah. I mean, it just feels so good to do that. So I didn't want to lose that element of the mechanics. I mean, the other thing is, if you've been with us for a long time and watched us design games, or if you've backed a lot of our campaigns, you'll know that things sometimes do change, especially in like a big campaign game.
Absolutely.
Because when we design the game, and especially when we get to the point where we think we like the game a lot and we send it out to previewers, there's still a long way to go, in the design. So we've done this before.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we've done it in Near and Far is the one that stands out.
Yes, that was actually the first game that I worked with Red Raven on. Like, that was really soon after I joined the company. And the version that I play tested in like my first interview was so different from the final game that was published. It was like night and day from
Yeah.
near and far.
Yeah, it was quite different. And sometimes it's important as game designers to kind of see what isn't working and kind of have the courage to just cut it away and try something else. Because our goal is to polish this as much as possible and make it a game that we would like to play for a long time.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know, honestly, it's harder when you do that. I've gone through the book and the card file and the location book file so many times in the last few months, just changing things and tweaking things and polishing things. It's not exactly always the most fun to do that.
Yeah.
But it's important, you know.
And it leads to us creating the most fun version of the game
Yeah.
when we let ourselves do that unfun work.
Yeah, and what's
Although
interesting...
I can talk a big game, but it's mostly Ryan who has to do most of the boring parts.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a team effort.
It is
for sure.
for sure, yeah.
And sometimes it's good to think of these campaign games. Actually, it's closer in some ways to like a video game development cycle rather than maybe a simpler board game. You know, when we design something like Six Sojourns or Rome or anything like that, it's fairly straightforward. You know, you design the game, you play it a lot, you make little tweaks, and it's pretty easy to tell if the game is working.
Yes.
But if you've ever watched documentaries or watched, you know, how it works in video games, especially for big games, they'll often make quite large system changes throughout the development of the game, just to get to the thing that they want.
Yes.
Anyway, I actually don't. This isn't a massive change.
No, the heart of the game is the same.
And especially the overworld stuff is it functions very similarly. We haven't really changed much of that. We just wanted to make sure the location book was something that when you opened it was like, wow, I'm excited to do this.
Yeah.
You know, and I think this does it. So we're gonna go deeper into the details. We're gonna play through a dungeon, kind of show you some of the stuff. You know, we're not planning very carefully how we're doing this dungeon. We're kind of just throwing the characters in there to show you some of the things that can happen. But what's nice is there are so many ways to approach this dungeon and so many ways to kind of be more efficient and careful. But we just wanted to show you some of the things that can happen in the dungeon. So
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I'm playing as Zernzig.
And I'm playing as Ven.
And we've just entered this dungeon. This is the Ruins of Thesh. Now, when you open the dungeon book, because the way that you play, you'll be on the atlas, moving around, exploring different places. And when you get to certain places, it'll tell you to open this location book, which is full of dungeons, but they're not all dungeons. Sometimes they might be like the docks, or just in the forest. You might be out in the forest. But this time we're in kind of a dungeon area, and it says, a broken puzzle of stonework surrounds you, overgrown and unstable. Whispering voices echo through the chambers ahead. Are they beckoning or threatening? So now what we would do is start the player phase. So all the players at this point would take 4 dice and roll these dice at the same time. Okay. So those are my dice. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to sneak here. So I'm going to place, so now each character has a board. And on this board, that's where your health is tracked and your mind songs are tracked. Now, for those that don't remember, this is going to be a double layered player board so that these tokens won't be sliding around. But on this board are also location actions. And you can place dice on these actions to take actions at the location. So the first thing I'm going to do is sneak. So there's an action here that says sneak, and I just need a die of 1 or higher. But to do that, I need to roll a senses 6. Now Zernzig, he has a +2 to his senses. One new thing that we also changed is there's now an icon for each skill. So it's a little easier to see. Okay, So I'm going to roll. Okay, I got a 9 plus 2, so I'm good. I'm sneaking now. So I'm going to place this die on movement, okay? So whatever number I put on here, that's how many spaces I can move. So I'll take Zernzig. Let me show you some of these enemies real quick too. So this is, let's see, a Song-Seared Spectre. Okay, so we've got a few of those. We have a Skull Screamer, and this is a Mirror Spider. It's like it hides on the wall, kind of like, or on a, in a corner looking like a mirror, and in ruins somebody comes up to look at their reflection, and that's when it pounces. So, okay, we're gonna have Zernzig move. I'm gonna move 6 spaces. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now because I'm sneaking, I can move straight past these ghosts. They don't see me. Now I can play another die here to move again. I'm going to use my 1 to move 1 last space. Now there's a new thing on the maps as well. This is an action called a trap. Now traps don't hurt players, they hurt enemies. And this is to allow you to approach a dungeon in a sneaky way, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to play this die, my last die, on this area right here. This allows me to interact with scrolls on the board, which is one of these places, one of these points of interest. So I'm going to place this here and interact with this. So this is a trap. I need to roll an 8 agility, which is pretty high. So let's see what happens. I'm going to roll the d10. Okay, I got a 5. I have +2 agility, so I'm not quite there. Let's look at my hand of cards. Okay, I do have this right here. You can see it's a +3 to knowledge or agility. All these cards that you have in your hand, you can either use them for their skill, or they also usually have a special ability that you can use them for. This one has automatically succeeded a stealth challenge. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use it for agility so that I succeed at this roll. Okay, I succeed at the trap. Had I failed, I would have taken 5 damage. That's what that is right there. But now I can deal 7 damage to an enemy, and this little symbol here means I can do it up to 4 spaces away. So basically what I did is I ran in here, ran past the ghosts, cut a chandelier, and it fell down and hit one of these ghosts. So I'm going to deal 7 damage to that one. And these tokens we have here, these damage tokens, they are not the final tokens, but this is what we are planning to do, is have a little stack of damage under each enemy. Okay, 7. Oh, you know what? Actually, I dealt 7 damage to this enemy, which is enough to defeat them, but they don't die yet. We're going to get to that point. Yep, they do not die yet. They'll die later. Okay, now I'm going to turn the time over to Brenna.
Okay, so for my first move, it feels smart to deploy a couple of my cards here. I have these sparrow dragons that are the sort of the familiars of Ven. And if I play both of these sparrow dragons, then they'll be active until the end of the day. So they basically will be active for the whole dungeon. Each of them gives me an extra die for my pool. So Ryan, can you hand me another couple extra D6s?
Yep.
Whoops, I knocked one of the, I can't remember what that was. Oh well. And I'll just re-roll that one also. Slightly more honest. And so now I have extra dice for my pool to act with, and also 2 more actions I can do, because each of these also has an action that I can place a dice on to use. So I am not going to be sneaky. I'm going to rush in. I do still need to move to go attack, so I'm going to go 1, 2 to fight this ghost here. And now I could place a die on one of my weapons to do some damage. I might do that. I can use this 6 to go ahead and use this big oak club to attempt to smash.
Very nice. Okay.
So that does 3 damage base.
Yep.
With breach, which means it would ignore any armor, but I don't think the ghost has armor.
Nope, no armor.
And then there's 2 extra combat die that I can roll. that are a little bit of a push your luck element. So there's still that push your luck part of the combat system.
So I'm going to interrupt Brenna's action to take a minute to explain a couple things. So in the earlier version of this game, we had a push your luck combat system, which we're retaining. It's still in the game for discourse.
Yes.
We've just changed how combat works.
Yeah, so you still have that exact same push your luck combat system. It's just more built into the stories, and it's about arguing with people.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the previous version, you might push your luck when you're fighting, but now you just place dice to take actions. But there still is a push your luck element, which is this risk die that you can roll with your attack. Now, some weapons, some attacks, they let you choose. So Brenna has one attack that lets her choose the slash on her knife. She can choose to roll this because some of these sides will add to your damage. Like this adds 3 damage, this adds 1 damage, but some of the sides hurt you. This would hurt you would take 2 damage instead because you're fighting a little more aggressively. You're not fighting as defensively. Now, the large oak club, she has to roll 2 because it has the exclamation point. Because it's a big, unwieldy weapon, it's hard to be defensive with this weapon.
Yes.
So we're going to just keep going there. She's going to roll it to see what happens.
Swinging this club around wildly. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so that's 1 extra damage, which brings it to 4 damage total, and 3 extra damage. So that means I deal a total of 7 damage.
Wow. Okay.
I kill the ghost again.
Nice. Now, okay, I'm going to rewind here because we forgot something. This ghost is ethereal.
Oh, no.
It requires if you don't have a torch, then you deal half damage. But let's just say that you had lit a torch upon entering these ruins. So you have your torch, you're cool. You did a ton of damage. How much was it?
It was 7, exactly.
7, okay. So you got enough to defeat this ghost.
Just as a point of clarification, do the traps circumvent that?
No.
Or would you have done half damage?
No, I'm going to do half damage there. Rounded up. So I deal 4 damage.
Okay, so you didn't quite kill that ghost.
No, I did not. Had somebody been nearby with a torch, then that I would have been okay. I would have done my full damage. But nobody had the torch nearby, so that's how it goes. Okay, have you used all your dice?
I have
you
not.
Still have a bunch.
I still have quite a few. I might try to run over and kill that ghost also if I can get over there and still do enough damage. Okay, this will let me move 3, which does get me over to this ghost.
Okay, now this ghost follows you.
Yep.
Yep, because if you're in a space with an enemy and you're not sneaking, the enemy follows you.
And then I can use this 1 die to focus to turn a d6 to a 6. So I'm going to turn, well, that one was a 3. I'm going to turn this 1 to a 6. Then I'm going to play that on the sparrow dragon, deal 5 damage.
Okay, wow.
And that kills that other ghost.
Yes, okay, so we'll put the 5 damage there. All right, now you have 1 die left.
I do still have 1 die left, so I could still do something. So
I'm going to make a recommendation.
Yes.
Because you're about to be hit by a lot of damage. So it'd be good to do something defensive.
That's true. I do only have a 3, so I can't do my armor.
Okay.
Or this other sparrow dragon that has some defense.
Now you could use an item to try to increase that.
Oh, that's true.
If you use the rope, if you use a rope, you can turn a die to a 6.
Okay. Maybe I will do that then, because I am going to take a lot of damage this next enemy phase. So spend that rope, turn this into a 6, activate my armor, which will give me 3 defense.
Yeah. Now some armor has this little symbol. It's a hammer. That's a disrepair symbol, which means if you use it, you have to put a token there. You can't use it again until you repair the armor. So go ahead and put a cube there. Yep. Okay, we've spent all our dice. One thing I want to point out is I spent all my dice, then Brenna did, but you can actually do that simultaneously. Like I could move somewhere, do something, and then Brenna could do something, and then I could spend the rest of my dice, and so on and so forth. You can sort of work together as a team, figure out the best way to use your dice. Okay, so let's see what happens. Now we're on the enemy phase. So during the enemy phase, all the enemies move if they can reach a player, unless you're sneaking. Nobody moves to me because I'm still sneaking. So these guys, these ghosts are still, they don't need to move. But let's check everybody else. So this Skull Screamer, we look at his movement. He moves 4. So can he get to you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, he can. So he joins
Ven
the fight.
might die.
Oh, Ven might die here. So, and then the spider, let's see, Mirror Spider moves 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yep.
Oh no.
This is a perfect trap. We'll see if Ven survives this. Now this one is behind a door, so it doesn't move until that door is open.
Hooray.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to do one thing. You're supposed to advance this, which is the time track. Okay, sometimes things happen every round when you move this. For example, once we get to 3, every enemy is going to deal 1 extra damage. And from then on. And then once we get here, a new enemy will spawn. Various new enemies spawn. So we don't want to dilly-dally. The enemy's moved, and now the enemies attack. So
okay, let's see how dead I am.
Yeah, let's see how dead you are. So each specter deals 8 damage.
Oof.
So that's 8, 16. Oh, but you have armor. How much armor
I
do
do
you
have
have?
armor 3.
3. So they're each going to deal 5 damage.
Okay, so it reduces each attack.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So first take 5 damage from this ghost.
Okay.
Yep, then take another 5. Oh, with the other 5 you'll reach 0.
No, because I was at 11, so minus 10, I'm still at 1, so I'm barely hanging on still after those ghosts kill me.
Okay, that's good. Now you can choose which order the enemies hit you. So the Skull Screamer is going to deal 8. The Spider will deal 6. So I would take the 8.
I'd do the 8, yeah.
So take the 8 because you'll reach 0. And when you reach 0 health, you draw one of these cards, which is an affliction card. So flip that over. And this is weakened. Okay, you get this affliction. When you gain this, restore 6 health. Now, if this is your 4th affliction, you die permanently. Characters can die permanently in this game. So we're going to restore 6 health immediately. Okay.
I also will have -3 to my weight limit.
Yeah.
Which is currently a 7.
It's currently a 7.
I have, so that means I'll only be able to hold a weight limit of 4, and I have too much stuff equipped with that new weight limit.
So you're gonna have to drop some stuff immediately.
I might just drop my giant club. I'd rather drop that than my armor.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, so now the Skull Screamer has this ability, Flee. As soon as they hit, they move to the nearest empty space. And the active player gets to choose. So we'll just put him right there. Okay, now the Spider hits for 6 damage.
Oh, and I only was restored 6, so I...
Now, let's use some items here.
Yes, I was going to suggest that.
So you could use the cup, the cursed artifact.
Oh, yes.
The cursed relic. So this lets you ignore 1 hit from an enemy, but you lose 1 hope. So we'll move down the hope track, get rid of that. And I think we're good. Oh, no, this also deals poison. Okay, the Mirror Spider. So we go into, you check poison. Looks like it's card 146.
Do I still get poisoned even though I ignored the attack? Does it only ignore the damage from the attack?
Yes, you would ignore it.
Woohoo!
Okay, don't have to get poisoned. Yeah. Okay, we survived, mostly.
Yeah. Largely.
Yeah, we're kind of just getting into the fray here to show you how everything works. Maybe we would have strategized slightly differently to make sure that we didn't take quite so much damage.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ways to approach these dungeons. Okay, so now everything, you check to see which enemies die. And these 2 both die because they have 0 health. Okay. All right, now we're back to the player phase where we will roll our dice.
Yep.
So quick side note, Ven could have taken that hit from the spider, but and use the 3 block and just take in 3 damage.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have actually immediately died from that attack, but with the poison, it's still better to use the item to avoid it in this moment, probably.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, back to us. Let's roll our dice.
Okay.
So I can't use this trap again because once you interact with something, you have to cover it up. So maybe I won't sneak this time. I'll just get right into the fray because you cannot sneak and deal damage to an enemy unless you're using a special ability that's like a sneak sort of ability. So maybe, let's see, I'll run right in here, okay? And use my 3 to do that. And then let's see what we've got here. Let's use the slash. I'm going to use my gremlin forked dagger. And let's see, it does 2 damage. And I think I am going to use this. Yep, I'm gonna use the risk die. Oh, dang. Okay, I hurt myself doing that. I'm also going to use this, which is a spell song, and it's called Chant of Fire. So I can shoot dancing fire at an enemy, which I'm going to do. So that's a total of 5 damage, and I'm going to roll the risk die one more time. Hopefully I get something good. Oh, nice. Okay, I got 2. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total damage. Now, this Chant of Fire is a once per day ability. So I do need to put a token on there to remember I've used it for the day. The spider is pretty tough. He has 18 health. So we've got kind of a lot more to do here.
I can, I think, make a bit of a dent on him because I have my sparrow dragons.
Okay.
They're available to me till the end of the day, so I can still keep using them. And they can be pretty powerful. Definitely better than my one remaining little mini weapon that I can still hold on to in my weakened state. I have to have my dragons come save me. And so I place this one here. I can just do straight 5 damage.
Wow.
And then by using the other dragon, that's another 2 damage and 2 block. So I will have some defense at the end of the round.
Nice. Okay, so we're currently at...
Okay, so we're at 16.
Okay.
So we need to do 2 more damage. Would one of these items deal 2 damage?
Actually, let's use this this thunder crystal. This deals 3 damage. So we'll discard that.
So
and that's it. We did it.
The spider will die at the end of the next enemy phase.
Yep. Okay. So the question is, who's going to take that hit?
Yeah, because I do still have some actions left, so I could theoretically move to a different space to do some stuff.
Yeah, let's do that. And maybe
but
I'll
the spider would follow me.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm going to use my... it's really my turn.
The spider would follow you.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
And then I wouldn't get hit.
Oh, let's do that. Okay. I'm going to move.
You can lead the spider off on a merry chase.
Yeah. Actually, I'll just move up here. Yeah, that'll set me up for the next round. Okay. I'm actually going to drink this potion. Okay. This heals 5. So we'll discard that. It doesn't give me a ton of health, but it'll keep me from getting an affliction card when that spider hits me. Although unless you lead that Skull Screamer away, he's going to run up and hit me too.
I probably will lead the Skull Screamer away. I can move 1, and then the Skull Screamer's going to follow me. 2, 3, and then I'm going to move 1 more over here, and I'm just going to try to get this loot here.
Oh, nice.
So I do also have to use a die to interact with the scroll.
Yep.
And now I have to do a knowledge check.
Yeah, so you need a 6 or higher knowledge.
Okay.
You have a +2.
I have a +2 to knowledge, and I have some cards I can maybe use if I roll badly. 7.
Very nice.
+2, 9. Easily get that. So that gives us a loot.
Yeah. So now this is a new thing too. There's now a loot track, and you'll move up this track. As you move up the track, as you gain different loot on a location, you'll get different rewards. and it sort of creates an arc of rewards. So the first thing you'll get here is this cursed relic. So we'll put that, actually we'll really probably need that.
Yeah, that could come in handy for sure. And then I also do still have one die left that I'm going to use to take a defensive stance. So that will give me an additional block.
Okay.
In the enemy phase.
Okay, cool. All right, so enemy phase, the first thing we do is move this up. Nothing happens yet. Then the enemies move. So none of these enemies are going to move because they're already on a space with a character. Except this guy, but he's behind a door, he's not going to move. Then the enemies attack. So let's start with me. So this spider does 6 damage, and I don't have any block, so I'm just going to take the whole thing. Yep, and I'm going to take poison. So I need to get card 146. Okay. Now poison, I can get rid of this in various ways, but it's gonna, it gives me a -1 to die rolls and has some other effects. So we'll put it right there. Okay, so I'm done. And then we go to the Skull Screamer.
Yep.
Does 8 damage.
But I have 3 block, 2 from the Sparrow Dragon and 1 from my defensive stance, so I only take 5 damage.
Okay. So you could use that Cursed Relic, but maybe not, since you don't...
I'm barely alive
since
still,
you're right,
maybe.
So you're still there. Okay, probably a good idea. Okay, this guy, he's gone. Every time you defeat an enemy, you also get rewards. So when we forgot to get rewards for the Spectres, but we should have gotten 2 experience and 2 coins. Okay. Now we just defeated the spider. The spider gives us 2 coins and 2 experience points, and we move up on the loot track. So we're going to move this here. We get 2 coins. Okay.
Woohoo.
Okay, now it's back to the player phase.
Okay.
So let's roll our dice. We got to take out the Skull Screamer.
Yes. It does only have 6 damage, and I have 2 4s, so I can use my Sparrow Dragons to kill it again.
Okay.
Just let my dragons take it out.
Yep.
Because that deals 7 damage.
Very nice. Okay, 7 damage.
It's still going to hit me at the end of the round, but I can use the Cursed Relic at that time to stay alive.
Oh, perfect. I'm at this spot. It looks like a locked chest, so I can try to open that up. It's a 6 craft, so I'll spend a die to do that. Let's see if I can get there. I did it, because I also have a +3 to craft. I'm very good with opening locks. So we'll move this here. We get card 33, which happens to be... Oh, look at this. We found a journal written by a gremlin and filled with detailed instructions on tying complex knots.
Ooh.
But as the journal goes on, the writing grows scratchier and harder to read, with messy ink stains spilled all over the pages. The entries grow rather unhinged and disturbing near the end, with the author describing knots to open a gateway to one of the lower hells. Perhaps one of the thread and yarn traders in the unlucky villages will know what to do with it. Okay, so this is a quest we just found in this locked chest here, so I'm just going to put that aside. Let's see, what else are we going to do?
Mark that one as...
Oh yeah, mark that as used.
I can do some moving around, unless you want to take all your actions first.
Okay, I'll use this. 1, 2. I'm a little hesitant to open this door yet.
Yes. I do think we probably, before attempting to flee, at least want to get 1 more loot, because that's another numbered card, and that feels important.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe we'll get 1 more and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah, that's kind of my thinking.
Okay, so I'm going to move over here just real quick and just pick up this potion for my last action. Yeah.
Cool. I am going to move 5. I'm going to move and carry the skull along with me, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's as far as I can get. Okay, so with my last couple of dice here, I do have a card that lets me add a +3 movement, because I can't really do anything from where I am, and I'm out of movement spots. So I'm going to go 1, 2 over here actually, and I'm going to use one of those remaining dice to interact with a scroll and just pick up a torch. My final die, I could theoretically use strategize to draw a card over my hand limit, but I'm kind of out of cards and already at my hand limit, so that wouldn't help me much. So I'm just going to take a defensive stance again.
Okay, so now it's the enemy phase. None of them move. Oh, we got to move this one. Okay, now they all deal +1 damage. This one will hit you for
It will.
9 damage.
Do you think even with that defensive stance, I should probably still
Yeah, I think so.
use
So
the cursed artifact and lose some hope to not get another affliction?
Yeah. Now we check, see if the enemy is defeated. Yes, definitely. We have enough damage, so they're gone. This enemy awards 1 coin, 1 experience. All right, so the question is, oh, we want to do one more round, right?
Yeah, so we can get that final.
Okay, so let's roll our dice.
Now I have an obstacle between me and there, and Ryan has kind of gone the long way around and can reach it easier, so it's probably better if Ryan attempts to go grab that first.
Yeah, you'd have to dig out this big pile here.
Yeah,
so.
but if you fail the craft roll, I can probably try to come over there.
That's true. Okay, so I put this die here. I can, just to point this out, you can do up to 3. You can interact with up to 3 things with dice. Okay, let's see. I need a craft 8. I'm a crafty guy, so 6, 9. I did it.
Woo!
Yep. So I need a cube. I'll just put that there. So that moves us up the loot track. 1 more. We get card 35. Let's see, a crone's spoon.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is, so when any player plays a recipe, play this card to restore 8 health among the characters. Also roll 1d6. If 1 to 3, lose 1 hope. Okay, interesting. I'll put that right in my hand. Maybe we'll use it when we get out of this dungeon because we got to heal some things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point, there's more stuff we could do. There's more stuff to pick up in the dungeon, but also, you know, the longer we stick around, at the end of the next enemy phase, a new enemy is going to spawn, and there's still that guy behind the door, and more enemies that will spawn the longer we stick around.
Yeah.
So, like, the biggest we can get from the loot track still is another 4 coins.
Right.
And there's like a bunch of little resources we could run around and grab, but...
That's true, but we're kind of hurting.
Yeah.
It's probably a good idea to leave. Now, we can't leave quite yet. We have to leave at the end of an enemy phase. So
I do think I might see how far I can get if I can grab 1 or 2 more things while we're still around. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can grab that rope. One small rule clarification for me. Can I stop in the middle of a move and pick something up and still use the rest of that 6, or does that use up that dice when I stop?
No, so when you move, if you stop to do something, you kind of lose the rest of the movement.
Then I will use this 3 to go 1, 2, 3. Grab that mushroom.
Grab the mushroom. Okay. Nice.
So I was able to grab us a few things.
Yeah, I'm not going to use the rest of my dice. I can just choose not to. And now this moves here. Oh, one of these guys shows up. Anytime a new enemy spawns, they spawn at the entrance.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, he's close by. So,
I'm going to say I at least took my defensive stance then.
or maybe you could sneak.
Oh, I could sneak. I should try to sneak.
Sneaking. Yeah.
I should try sneaking. Okay, let's give that a shot. Let's see if I can manage it.
Okay,
5.
maybe you have a card you could play?
Let's see, what have I got?
You need 6 senses. So that's the, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do have a card that adds plus 3 senses.
Oh, nice.
So,
okay.
there.
So this guy
I'm
shows
hidden.
up, but he doesn't, oh, you know, he'll actually, because I'm not hiding, he's going to try to move to me. Oh, no, because
you're out
he
of
only moves
range,
4,
yeah.
I'm out of range. He won't move. Okay, now it's the end of that, and we can decide to leave. So at this point, we'd say,
seems
all right,
like a
we're done.
Good idea.
I don't have to traipse
bow
all
out.
the way back. We just close the book, take everything off, and move back to the Atlas. So that's how a dungeon, how a location works in the game. We're really excited about this because it allows you to approach some of these maybe in different ways. I was playing the other day and we went somewhere and there were enemies they were too difficult. And so what we did is we just kind of tried to hide and sneak around, gathered a few treasures, and then ran out of there before anything found us. And that can be exciting too, because let's say you're sneaking around, you're getting close to the dragon or whatever it is, some kind of big scary monster, and you're getting a treasure over there, but you fail your sneak roll, and then the creature sees you and runs over and hits you. It can be a high tension moment. It's exciting. It can be fun. And one of the design ideas here as well is that not every enemy you run into is going to be something you can defeat. Maybe you'll see that enemy and you have the resources, you could do it. Or maybe you think, oh, we'll come back here later when we're stronger and we can defeat the enemy. Or maybe we'll just sneak around. We don't have to fight the enemy. There's a lot of ways to approach the game. So hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.
Yep, thank you.